years ago, my principal, Brian Anton, came to me and said, hey, this is an opportunity that we've came across. Would you ever be interested in this? And I said, why not? I like to change up things a lot, and so I came 4 years ago with the first cohort and have been a part ever since. My experience I have where I teach 7th and 8th grade STEM 2 hours of the day. It is an elective at Purdy schools, so my kids just get to pick. And we work through everything Coders has given us. Big thing I've seen with my kids is kids that didn't excel academically, they have a different way of thinking, and coding and Coders helps them get that critical thinking that they're missing, but also help them excel in coding because they think differently. So they are able to have successes that they haven't previously had.
Okay, the question again?
Just talking about how you got involved in this and what you've gone through.
4 years ago, my principal, Lucretia Bratton, came to me, and she had previously attended writing courses with the director, Carrie Franklin, and she said that there was this coding group that was getting ready to start their first year, and so I wanted to be a part of it, and I came the first year with no experience in coding at all, and very quickly learned that as a teacher, you kind of gauge the room and see what you're up against, and I very quickly figured out that these were my people, and all of us like to, as teachers, perpetually learn, and so year after year they give us a little bit more. First year Scratch and Alice, next year Microbit, the next year after that some gadgets like CuteBots and robot dogs, in order to get children excited about learning about coding. The greatest part about this project is taking it to my very rural, low-income school and showing how the kids can benefit from learning coding in a science classroom, because it's all about STEAM and the integration of STEM and STEAM in the classroom, and they have taken the coding to the next level, in so much that some of them have even started to help the local technology expert at our school with the hardware to upkeep student laptops.
And this pretty much just levels the playing field between schools that may have a lot more funding and can afford to have those classes versus the schools where you guys come from.
Yes, sir. It gives them the opportunity to go into coding and they previously had no experience with it. Had we not taken this to them 4 years ago, many of them probably wouldn't have experienced it until maybe college. So this gives them an even level with, say, a very, our rural school then is given, let me rephrase that. This then gives our rural students an even playing field to march on into college with.
What's your story?
I came in the third year. I've only been here 3 years. Filled the place of a teacher that went out at Neosho Junior High. My principal asked me if I was interested. I said yes. We teach in innovation with 3D printing and other types of computer science courses. So we just implemented all these lessons into what we were already doing. The thing that I like about what we do is we take these lessons and we use like force and motion and can use it into our science classes. We can take our CuteBot, and in one of my classes I did a science and space exploration, and the CuteBot became our Land Rover. So they were able to code and the CuteBot to avoid obstacles, overcome obstacles, go around things. And the kids actually got hands-on experience of what actually happens in the real world.
Obviously, this is kind of the future in terms of, specifically technological education. And my question would be for you guys, given the fact that you're learning the present day to teach the future, how in depth are these seminars, these teachings, how in depth are they?
I gotta think about that one.
Well, so for me, I break it down in things that they know. Why is TikTok showing them the video that's popping up? And so we break it down to algorithms and your For You page. And somebody had to do that. Somebody had to make sure that when your GPS is functioning, that it's functioning well. Because in society, every piece makes society easier. And if it doesn't work, that's when people notice. And so the students see how learning coding now in its simplest form of block coding, which MakeCode makes it easier for them because there's a toggle to switch over to the next level of Python or JavaScript. And so I have 3 students who have already done enough MakeCode to toggle and start writing in Python as 8th graders. And that, then they see how difficult it is to code just a simple software app that controls the technology we take for granted every day.
And I'm 28, but explain that to me as if I was an 8th grader not in that course. What does that mean? Kind of break that down in layman's terms.
So what we're going to do is we're going to give you the basics of how coding starts. And we're going to use these blocks of information, but you're only going to see a command. But this block behind it has a string of code that will tell them exactly how to execute the command and do what we want it to do. So instead of having them teach to write out a line of code, you're just having them take a block to execute a command, which makes it so much easier. And then we can show them in JavaScript or Python, here's everything that block tells that microbit or whatever we're using to do.
And my last question, I'll give you guys all the opportunity to answer. What's next for you guys? The way I've interpreted it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's a 4-year course, no year 5, correct?
Well, what I would say,